Okay, back in OnShape for tutorial 6. So we're going to be expanding our skills a little bit more. In the last tutorials, we were working on certain sketches, but they weren't very elaborate or involved. We typically had one sketch and one 3D feature. Today we're going to try to expand that, and we're going to do a couple of different features on the same part. So let's go ahead and start by selecting a plane. I'm going to touch the front plane. I'm going to take 2 fingers and tap outside on the edge of my drawing board. And it brings up a menu. I'm going to say View Normal to Plane. I'm going to tap with 2 fingers, and I'm going to say Sketch. I could also go up to my pencil up top and click that. Okay, so I can click Sketch that way, or I could have gone up to my pencil in the upper left corner and select that and started that way. Okay? When you open a sketch, you have to make sure that you have your plane selected that you want to draw on, and then you select your sketch tool. Okay? So let's start by doing our lines, our construction lines. So I'm going to select the line tool. You can see up at the top we have the arrow pointing to the left, the arrow pointing to the right, our pencil, our ball, and next to that there's a solid line to a dotted line. That turns a solid line into a construction line. So we're going to start with that. You're going to start by touching your screen, moving it so it snaps over like vertical to the origin. Snap to the bottom, okay? And then I'm going to deselect my line tool, and I'm going to select it again and the construction line to make an x-axis, okay? So I'm going to deselect that again. And now I'm ready to create my sketch. So today, I think what we're going to do is maybe we will make a simple little table. So I'm going to select my pencil tool, my sketch tool, and I'm going to do a center point rectangle. So the third tool, I'm going to go and I'm going to select the center line, and I'm going to drag it out, and now I have a blue rectangle. Well, the reason it's blue is because it is not fully defined. I can touch a corner and drag it around. It doesn't know how big it is. Okay? So now I need to define it. So now I'm going to go up to my sketch tool, and I'm going to go down on the right side. This is about 2/3 of the way down. I see a tool that says Dimension. I'm going to select that. I'm going to select a line. I'm going to select the bottom line, tap to the right, and I'm going to dimension that. And you notice it automatically turned both those lines black because it knows that it's symmetric around the x-axis. And it knows that because I put the center point on the origin. If I didn't have the center point on the origin, then I would have to tell it where it is in space relative to the x-axis, okay? Now I'm going to do the dimensions for the other direction. Tap that, and I'm going to make that 6, okay? Now, you can see I'm rotating it so you can see this. I'm going to go up to the top, and next to the pencil tool is the ball. I'm going to select that because I'm going to turn this rectangle into a feature. I'm going to hit the extrude button, and let's extrude it 1 inch. Okay, I like that. If I wanted to change it, you could see I could go down, and under depth I could make that, you know what, actually I'm going to change it. I'm going to change it to 0.5. See that? You can also touch the arrow and drag it to make it big. You can have it, okay? You can, on the right hand side, you see at the menu you have the extrude one. It says it's a new body, 1 entity selected, blind. I can select blind. Instead of having it go one direction, I can have it be symmetric, so it extrudes both direction. I can have it go up to a face, up to a vertex, but I'm going to pick blind just so it goes straight out towards me. Okay, and I'm going to hit the check mark. Okay, next what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 4 legs on this. So I'm going to select the plane that I want to sketch on. Now you can select a feature, like I just selected this face, so I'm selecting that face. I'm going to do that double tap. I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to hit sketch. Okay, I'm going to double tap on the outside and see if I can do view normal to plane. I'm going to make my construction lines. Feel free to pause it because it might take you longer to do this than it does me, but it might not. You might be faster. Okay. And I'm going to, now that I have my construction lines, I'm going to go up and I'm going to make, I'm going to have my legs of my chair be circular, like cylindrical. So I'm going to do center point circle. I'm going to go and I'm going to put that up in the corner. I'm going to go back to my sketch tool and hit dimension. I'm going to select the outside and then tap outside. That'll define how big that circle is. So I'm going to make it a 1/2 inch. Okay, now it needs to know where it is in space. It doesn't know where it is relative to anything else. It can move all around, okay? So we need to tell it where to go. So I'm going to go back, select dimension tool. I'm going to dimension from the center of the circle to my construction line. Okay, and I'll make that 2.25. Seems like a nice number. But now it needs to know, now it knows where it is relative to the y-axis, but it doesn't know where it is relative to the x-axis, right? So now I need to go, hit my dimension tool, and dimension it relative to the x-axis. Okay. I'm going to make that 1 inch. Beautiful. Now I can go back up to my bowl. I'm going to select that, and I'm going to hit extrude. Okay, now, if you look at the right hand, it says add. The first thing under extrude to solid surface is add. If you select that, notice that you can hit new. If you hit new, it changes it to a different color. That means it's making it a different part, okay? If you have it be add, it's now just adding on to the existing part. So it's still just one part. It's just a new feature on the existing part. You can also go up there and hit remove. If you hit remove, see how it made a hole in it? It removes that material, okay? Today we're gonna do add, but you could easily do any of those features when you're trying to create parts, okay? I'm gonna go down to the depth and I'm gonna make that, let's make that 3, okay? And for draft, I'm gonna hit draft. That's gonna create an angle. It's drafting it out and I want it to draft in. So underneath there, I can hit opposite direction. The draft angle is a little bit steep, so I'm going to change that to 1. Actually, I want to make it 1.5. Let's try that. That looks like a nice little table leg. So I'm going to hit check mark, and there we go. Now there's lots of cool features. I'm just going to show you a couple. So one is if we go up into, now if you hit the circle tool, you can see there's a lot of options, right? So let's see what we've got here. I'm looking for one that says mirror. So I can't seem to, oh, here we go. On the left side, 4th one down is mirror. Okay. So you can do different features, you can mirror certain parts, but let's go back up and I'm going to show you how you can go in and edit a sketch. So on the left side, you see something that says sketch to and extrude to. You can use your finger and you can scroll through. You have sketch 1, extrude 1, sketch 2, extrude 2. Sketch 1, extrude 1 was our rectangle that we, and then sketch 2 was our leg. So let's go into sketch 2, the 3 dots to the right of that, select that and hit edit. Okay, I'm going to view normal to plane. And what I want to do is I want to make this circle I want it 4 legs, not just 1. So I'm going to go up to my pencil and I'm going to select the mirror. See, this is a sketch tool mirror. Well, if you hit the circle, that gives you the part mirror. But we want to mirror the sketch. So I'm going to select mirror. Okay. And it says select a mirror line or plane. So I want to mirror this around, say, the y-axis. And I'm going to select that circle to mirror. So you notice as soon as I touched the circle, it mirrored it around the y-axis. Okay? And then I can check yes. Now I can go back and do that again. So let's go to sketch 2, the 3 dots, hit edit, go to the pencil, select mirror. The mirror line or plane is going to now be my x-axis. And I want to mirror both those circles. So I'm going to touch one and then the other, and it mirrors both. Now if I hit the check mark, you can see that you now have 4 legs. Okay? And then if I wanted to, let's say I wanted a little indent cup holder, I could select the top plane, sketch, view normal to plane. I could do a feature in there. I could have like a circle. Let's see. I'll make that 0.5. I want to have my construction lines. I'm going to do a dimension. Oopsie. I'm going to do a dimension relative to each axis. Let's say 1.5 and 0.6. And now I'm going to hit the ball. I'm going to hit extrude. And instead of adding, I'm going to go to remove. But I don't want it to cut through all through the part. So under depth, I'm going to change that to 0.2. And you can see now it just has a little indentation. Okay? That's it for this.